Hi, I'm Vanessa from SpeakEnglishWithVanessa.com. If you have already seen my language learning failure video, then today I want to give you a positive example. Today I want to talk about another personal story about my success in learning French in a different way. Let's talk about it. As I mentioned in my Spanish video, I decided to quit my Spanish class because I felt like it was boring, it wasn't interesting, it wasn't what I wanted to do. And I thought that maybe there was a problem with Spanish and my brain. Maybe there was a problem with the language and me. In reality, that's not the case. There was nothing wrong with Spanish, but there was a huge problem with the method that I was learning Spanish. So I decided to change to French instead. I took a French class that was very basic, but after this basic level, I decided to go on to a more advanced class. And in this advanced class, the other students didn't really care about learning French. I think they were only there because it was a requirement. But for me, it wasn't a requirement. I was just interested in learning French, trying another language. So this class wasn't a really good fit for me, and I decided to quit again. And this is the best thing that I could have done because I asked the professor, can I meet with you in your office once, twice, maybe 3 times a week, just to speak one-on-one? I'm really interested in trying to speak, but the classroom isn't really helping me with that. She said yes, I was very lucky, and I met with her 2 or 3 times a week for several months until I graduated. This helped in so many different ways. First of all, she helped answer all my questions. She also helped to give me more expressions that I needed to use in my conversation. And the most important thing I feel like is she helped me gain confidence. I wasn't scared to try to speak, even if I had no idea what to say. I just tried to say something and she was so patient. So I learned a lot in that situation, but after I finished my studies, then I had to do something different. I decided to go to a local meetup group. You can see these kind of meetup groups in your city at meetup.com, but I went to a French meetup in my city, and every Wednesday evening there were a group of people who spoke French. Most of them also spoke English because we were in the US, but the goal was to speak only French together. And these people opened my eyes because it wasn't one-on-one anymore, it was a group of people all speaking together. I didn't really understand very much, and I mostly listened. I tried to speak, but I mostly listened in that situation, but it helped me to realize that this is a real language. This is a thing that isn't just in the classroom, that isn't just with my professor, but this is something that I can use with a lot of people. And it showed me that I need some motivation to be able to get to that level. So I decided to change my path. I decided to move to France and live with a French family as their au pair. Au pair is like a nanny or a babysitter who lives with the family. So I moved to Paris and lived with the French family. Of course, this was really useful to me to speak French with the family, but I think there were 2 other things that were really useful while I was living in Paris that I could have done other places too. And I want you to take note of these places because you can also do this in your own country. The first one is that I spoke French with my friends who were not native French speakers. A lot of my friends were other au pairs from Austria, Germany, Sweden, a lot of other places, and none of us were native French speakers, but we spoke French together anyway. And I think in these conversations, it really helped me because I felt confident expressing myself. I knew that they wouldn't feel frustrated if I didn't know exactly what to say because they understood. They were in the same situation, but we learned from each other. This was so beneficial. Non-native French speakers speaking together was wonderful. The second thing that helped me was when I went to my daily French class. This was required for my visa, so I had to go to a French class every morning. When I went to that French class, I had a great time. I've never had a good language class before, but this teacher showed me that it was possible. And in my own life, I tried to imitate him and imitate his style and his care because each class passed so quickly. We learned a lot. He shared so much fun information with us, and he cared about each student. So this was something that was really positive for me. Having someone who was entertaining, interesting, and also attentive to each student. This helped me to learn French a lot. So speaking with my friends, speaking with the Meetup group, speaking with my professor, speaking with the teacher in Paris, these were all so useful. And I want to give you all these different situations because I know a lot of you are not living in a native English-speaking country. You're not living in the UK, in Australia, in Canada, in the US. You are living in your home country or somewhere else. And you can't live with an English-speaking family. So I wanted to show you these other ways that really impacted me, that really helped me to learn French. So thank you for listening to this story today about my success learning French. And I want to ask you a question now. Tell me, what is your English learning history, your English learning background? When did you start to learn English? What did you do to reach today? What did you do throughout your life to learn English? Maybe you had a similar experience to me. Let me know in the comments below. And if you are not on my website, click the link below this video so that you can see the full free lesson to get more sample sentences and to read about this experience more fully. Thank you everyone for joining me, and I'll see you the next time. Goodbye!